Monday, the 13th of July 2020. We just came back from a trip up to the Okanagan and didn't get to see my friend that I was hoping to, but that's power for the course. Isn't that right, Max? The dogs love the trip. They needed a break. So this is just a quick update on the work I'm doing here. It's winding down, and as you can see, I almost got this room completed. I still have this part to foam off. And when I came back here today, it was really hot outside. But I came in here, it was nice and cool, even with the ceilings open like this. So it proves that this double or dual insulation system really works. The bad insulation is easy enough to do. The foam takes a little more work. You're not going to get it perfect. And so what I do is any voids I just fill in with batt insulation to try to keep everything tight. But should be good to at least minus 30, minus 40. And even in the hot weather, it works in the hot weather. And I hear that you guys down south are really having it with this heat bubble. And what can I say? We're in the end times, right? And it's going to get much worse than this. We're just beginning to see the judgment being poured out, and it's going to get much more severe because of the cosmic energy that's hitting the earth. It's changing everything. But on this wall here, I'm going to actually turn this room into a studio. And this, I want to put a banner across, and that's going to be a teaching wall where I could do the drawings for the shed shelter. And for you out there, the different patriot groups that are, I'm really proud of you, the work that you're doing to get things ready. But you need to take the next step, and that is to come together and lay all your cards on the table, right? And just imagine if nuclear war started breaking out in various cities, that would put a fire underneath your feet. And this is where we should be at, that we do need to be proactive and come together regardless of this COVID thing. And this is just a trial run. It's to see how the sheep will respond, right? It's a social conditioning of the people. And we all, most of us know where all this is leading to. And so I'm just going to sit down in the chair here. So I should be done this work in about a week on the inside. And I'm going to turn the camera around. Hopefully I got my face lined up here. And so we know we're coming into some troubled times. We know that an asteroid's going to hit Puerto Rico. And this is going to cause the 3 days of darkness. And it's also going to cause the lights to shine, those that the Father's been preparing over a lifetime. It'd be time for the manifestation of the sons of God to come forth. And, God knows everything that's happening on this earth, and we shouldn't have to fear. We shouldn't have to go into fear. And, the world's making a mockery, or the leaders of this world, they're making a mockery of the Lord with all these masks and things like that. And this next COVID too that's coming, it's not going to be like you think. They're planning to really push this. They're planning to push the vaccine apps and all this that goes along with it. But I warn you now, and this is what I said to Silverage, what the Lord told him personally, face to face, that this next COVID-2 is going to be a mutation of this present virus. It's going to be of the same family, but it's going to be dished out. God's going to send forth his destroying angels, and he's going to target the heads of the wicked, right? These wicked rulers that are in our governments. Toronto, Ontario just mandated that everyone wear masks. How ridiculous. If you have a little bit of foresight, a little bit of common sense, you know that masks don't work. There's no way that they're going to be able to handle this the virus strain, because it's much too microscopic, right? So the masks don't work. So on this next pandemic that's going to break out, that's going to be the real deal, right? And we're going to have to be ready for it in our hearts, and not to go into fear, because wearing masks or social distancing is not going to work. And when COVID-2 breaks out, and when it does, it's going to be a targeted attack. And this is God's vengeance that He's pouring out upon the earth for the blood, or the blood of the unborn. Now God's going to stand up, and He's going to pour judgment upon sin. And this is coming for all the blood that's been spilled. 700 million babies murdered every day, or 700,000 worldwide. And so the blood of the unborn is crying out. And God's going to target the world with His vengeance. And especially the heads of the wicked is coming. So we need to prepare our hearts. And if you live in fear, you're going to get it. As simple as that. And there's a difference between walking in faith and walking in fear. All right, I'm just going to turn this camera around again. And so prepare your hearts, and you out there that are coming together in these different, preparing to come together in these Goshen camps. Lay all your cards on the table, pull your money out of the banks while you can. Max out your cards, because we're in the midst of this reset, and the time will come where the banks are they're going to call the mortgages, right? And especially Canada's national debt has just went over $1 trillion. There's no way that it's going to take most of the revenue coming in from Canada just to service the debt. That means the infrastructure is going to start to fail. That we need to be ready, right? The cities are going down. Babylon is falling. The cities will not be able to hold together. So we do need to prepare, right? And you out there that are getting your bug out kits and all that, you need to network together. You need to lay everything on the table and come together in a common purpose, and get some land out there. Don't deal with the banks. Get some land out there, pay cash for it, and get settled in. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm going to use that wall to to show you how to build these shed shelters. And so by this coming weekend, I'll be starting on this series. But you really need to take this seriously, because the cities won't hold together. If you're in the cities, you're going to come under this judgment, right? What do you see, you guys? Hey to you. They sure love their little travel in the country. Hey, Max, what do you think? Okay, good. End it here. Okay, get prepping, and you that have money and you that don't have money, it's going to take both. We all have, talents and abilities and finances. You really need to start to liquidate, and you need to get out of the cities. You need to pull the plug while you still have the time. This is Joshua Taylor coming to you with a short update outside of Boston Bar, British Columbia, Canada.